Good morning, legends. We got 3 games to go through to finish off with round 17, and Dragons got the win over the Dolphins. If you haven't checked out the 5 things I learnt video, it goes through a lot of the footy in general, my fantasy tip of the week, a little bit of chat around the matchups and how that went. So we'll just get straight into the fantasy side here with a 20-point win for the Dragons. And Jaden Sewer, I think he really was pushing for that Origin spot to keep it. Basically, he played very, very well. The full 80 minutes backing up from Origin was terrific work from him, and picked up that try assist. He only missed 2 tackles there, made only 17, surprisingly enough, but he moved out to the centers and really helped them out there. So 209 meters for him, and that try assist was great. Speaking of great scores, Jacob Liddle continues to rock and roll in this last month. He's gone 53, I think it's his lowest in his last 5 games. So since getting that 80 minutes, which is exactly what we'd kind of hoped for across the years, basically, for Liddle, is that he could get 80 minutes and get on a bit of a roll for sides there, and it hasn't happened until now. So I don't think that's going to change. He's playing really, really well, doing good things, and obviously attacking stats are there. So Liddle, for someone like myself that needs a hooker, I'm not sure if the money is actually going to work out for Jacob. I was just having a look at some hookers before I jumped on. And of course, it's not going to work now, is it? Beautiful. We'll come back to that in a second. But price-wise might be interesting for Liddle in this week. But yeah, that's something to have a note and have a look at yourself. If you need someone for 19 and potentially, not too bad in 20, then he's the guy. All right, Raven for Mariner in the end, going over for a meaty 67 there in the 80 minutes, and is almost up to a 40 average, but price-wise is going in the right direction. Obviously up 104k now for the year, dual position. Really, really good effort from him in that full 80. Good stuff. But the big news here is that of Maxi Plath, 66 in the full 70 minutes. So he obviously did go to 9 for a good portion of this game with Jeremy Marshall-King out, and then Donahue and those guys kind of filled in at certain times. But 55 tackles for 1 miss is absolutely incredible for Plathy. They obviously didn't have the ball enough, and they dropped it a lot as well, so they weren't great across this entire game. But 110 run meters, 1 tackle break, 1 missed tackle, the 55 makes was absolutely incredible. Speaking about incredible, how fantasy works, DeBellin got 67 minutes and 64 points. So anyone that moved on from him, you'd be absolutely spewing. Yes, he got the try, but there's some minutes there, and we know in these types of minutes in general, without the try, he would have been pretty close to that 50 mark and exactly where you want him to be. So it's super frustrating for sellers, and I suppose it's just wild how that happens. You get a couple of games in a row, we get like 40 odd minutes, and it's like, all right, back to normal now. So hopefully for sellers, he does go back to 40 odd minutes, but if he held, this is a cracker for you. Obviously, Dolphins have a bye next week, guys, so keep that in mind. Dragons play the next 2 weeks now, so 18 and 19 before they miss 20. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're looking at purchasing these guys, if that fits your schedule. Trey Fuller ended up with a try saver, a couple of turnover tackles. That second half was yuck for him. He was always the last line of defense and unfortunately wasn't able to make that final tackle like he was in that first half, where he got the 10 points or 9 points from that try saver turnover tackle there. But still great run meters, 183. Got an escape from in-goal. Picked up 6 tackle breaks and offload. 17 tackles for a fullback is absolutely wild. So yeah, it's great news there. He's even with the missed tackles, he's still +7, and then had a couple of errors, unfortunately, there. Had him up at 60. I think they'd given him another offload, but instead I don't think Aitken touched it. So Fuller ends up with the error on that one instead of the offload. I was like, oh, his score went up a bit quick, but yeah, that's why. So he was solid. I'll be holding him through to around 19/20. I think there's a chance that Hammer doesn't back up from Origin for sure. So yeah, that's that. Although they lost, so they might need him eventually. They probably need a win in 19 for Hammer to get rested in 20, I think. Hunt, 52 for him on that front. Another good score from him. Aitken, 52 in 80 minutes, so pretty solid again. 4 missed tackles, though, was a little bit frustrating. No attacking stats, so to get 52 as a center, no attacking stats, happy days on that front. Kind of slows down his price losses a little bit. Sloan to Belotu, Moses Sully, 41, pretty solid base stat game. Asako, 39, so yeah, scoring pretty close to where he's priced at. Obviously, after that 60 odd last week, that's a good little 2-round average there, even though this one's a bit lower. If you got Katoa or Lemuelu, a little bit low for them, but obviously in this game, Lem dropped the ball twice, had 2 penalties, a bit gross on that front, and yeah, you couldn't expect too much more from both of them, given it was a bit of a negative game for the Dolphins there. So yeah, hold steady. And then Eisenhuth in this one got the 45 minutes rather than DeBellin. So they are very much moving the minutes around, which makes it very, very tough to buy any of these Dragons forwards, apart from Liddle right now, who's the only one that's super consistent with his minutes, apart from the edges, obviously. I'm talking about the middles. Nichols, Couchman, Tessie New, Pango Jr., 37 minutes, 29 points there. Created a little bit with some offloads. Farnworth with 25, so this is a bit of a shocker. 7 missed tackles for him and an error. Obviously, this wasn't the Dolphins game, but yeah, he wasn't great. Unfortunately, when you get -3 in tackles as a centre, it's never going to be great. Never going to be great, that's for sure. So he's gone back-to-back low scores after killing it, basically. So super frustrating. It will turn around, but yeah, to get 2 crap scores into a bye doesn't feel good at all. And Jeremy Marshall-King, 12 in the 22 minutes. So very, very sad about this one. I cannot catch the hooker position this year. Like, started with Grant. He's had a shocker. Grabs Joey Lussick early. He had a shocker. And then Brayley's been benched, although he scored well on the weekend. Traded him out. Got Jeremy Marshall-King in to cover 16 because Brayley was getting dropped. And now he goes low, like 40-odd, injured. So, yeah, rough. I don't know if I could stomach the hooker buy this week, but Liddle might be the play, to be fair. If I think I got 49 in the bank, so I think Marshall-King will go down 25 or something like that. It'll depend how much Liddle goes up, which I think he'll go up lots. And I'll probably be priced out of that one as well. So that is the Dolphins and the Dragons game. What about the Cows getting up over the Panthers? That was a massive, massive effort. And similar to that, what they did against the Roosters, Panthers didn't play great and Cowboys were able to capitalize on that. And there was obviously a boneheaded play by Drinkwater. We'll get to that in a sec. But Fisher Harris there was 68 in his 66 minutes. He played massive minutes when the guys were out. You also knew that Henry was going to get, the full 80 and do incredibly well, which he did a bunch of weeks ago when he got that spot. So 61 for him. He keeps on keeping on. He'll be into 600s very soon. So wild how that one's played out. But Fisher Harris, if you own him, you've had an absolute stormer of a month or so. It's been great. Schneider got the 58 in this one. So with the try, he's continuing to play pretty well, but obviously couldn't direct them around and get the win in this one with an error and nothing too crazy on his front. But as a team, they just couldn't do it. Dane Laurie with 54, plenty of tackle breaks, plenty of run meters, just playing the Dylan Edwards game. And then you got Edwards there with 53 in 60 minutes, so 50 tackles in the middle at hooker. Incredible work. Braden Burns with a 52, Sorensen with a 51 in the 71 minutes. I had the HIA 10 minutes before half time there, so he got that little bit of a rest. He was all good and picked up 45 tackles in this one. Obviously on the defensive side, two tackle breaks and an offload to ground. So, yeah, pretty good that he could only have one missed tackle, which we're used to seeing more from him. And in this case, a 550k getting a 51 is massive. So good stuff for owners of him. Isaiah Yeo picked up 56 minutes off the bench in this one, a 47 with no negatives. So pretty good on that front. Obviously no offloads or anything like that, but did what he could do in this game, I think, to go pretty close to a point a minute, a 0.9 or 0.85 or something like that. And yeah, do great things. If you captained him, a little bit frustrated that he start off the bench, but at least he played, to be fair, compared to what a lot of the other Origin guys unfortunately were able to throw out. Lukey with 47 in his 67. So what about him just getting clean knocked out and then passing HIA? Wild, but I'm glad he's okay. And he had a good game with 67 minutes. So 47, you take that at his price. Felt had a lovely try as usual, and almost picked up a nice try assist on the second throwback. Neem, Granville tackled really well for the most part. There was some big tackles through the middle that he needed to make that other guys missed, so that was good. Griffin Neem, a solid one for anyone still hanging on to him. Leota with a 38, so one of his better scores in recent history. Alamotti with 35. Isaac Tonga with 34, so thankfully for him, it was a good base stat game. 19 tackles, no misses, but still 2 errors, and just, he made, the way his season's gone, he made a tackle break and then still lost the ball, right? So after the tackle break. So he broke the bloke and then just dropped it himself. So that's the kind of season he's having, unfortunately, and hope it turns around eventually, but he's still going to be going down in price or stabilising over the next few weeks. Jackie Cole, 33 for him in the 68 minutes. So obviously, went off for a little bit there and picked up just some base stats. So, nothing special for him on return, but still 415k with the negative break even. You'll get a nice price rise, and it might be the end of him now. So it could be a sell in the next week or two. Big Finn, 26 in 75 minutes. So 6 missed tackles, unfortunately, in an error in a game where they won. It's low one for him in those big minutes in recent history anyway. So he's one, again, you could be looking to sell over the next few weeks as well. Very similar to the Jack Cole mold. They've made their cash, and it'll kind of slow down now with those low scores. Drinky, what in the world was he doing? Extra in the tackle, then spins around, and he's behind the player playing the ball. He stays standing there, and then when the guy picks it up, he decides to tackle him after it was a bit of a quick, they made like a half break or whatever it was. And it's like, well, this is a try scoring situation. Why are you tackling him? If you're not happy about it, challenge it or something. But to tackle him like that, you're obviously going to the bin. That just that was a yell at the TV moment. What the hell are you doing? That reminded me of round 2 last year when he did that swinging arm thing and got bin there and had a shocker. So I'm glad he at least got back to 24, but Panthers strike again, hey, in a different way, but they strike again, that's for sure. Sadly, at least he got that good score against the Roosters in that game where we thought we were going to get whacked. McKayle's still only 20 minutes there, Chester 5 minutes off the bench for a 9, and Jackson Purdue, a fun game as well. Alrighty, last game here, I've got to go to work in a sec, I'm a bit late. Roosters up against the Tigers. I'm so very glad I picked up James Tedesco, but the scores haven't been updated in this one. So Teddy's gone down to a 75, but still a cracking score there. A try assist, couple of line breaks. The try, 286 meters, 11 tackle breaks there, was absolutely incredible. I'm very glad I did make the trade for him in the end. It was, well worth it, that's for sure. And they look great. 40-6 victors over the Tigers. You had Victor, 62. I'm just going to go with the scores on here just to make it a bit easier there for myself, but Victor with the 62 there with that try worked out much better. He's been pretty low in recent history. Dom Young with a 60 and a double there with 3 line breaks and a try assist as well, so he had a cracker and expected, right, in these types of games. Unfortunately, we lose Manu, which we'll get to in a sec, but Watson at 58 with a try assist, couple of line break assists, did move out to the centres, unfortunately, when Joey Manu went down, and I think if Watson stayed in that 13 role for the game, he would have gone bonkers because he was like 38, 40 in like 25 to 26 minutes. And yeah, he would have crushed it. But obviously going out to centers, he did have some good runs at the end, picked up some good run meters and some tackle breaks and an offload, I think, in there. Oh, no, the offload was for the try. Just some tackle breaks in there. But it could have been a lot bigger. And obviously Terrell May just scores tries in these types of bye rounds, right? It's just how it goes. So he goes back-to-back good scores there. And we'll probably be up at 700k, I imagine, after that one. So, yeah, good stuff for Terrell. And the minutes were a bit low, but he did play 75 last week. So, obviously, we're able to give him a bit more of a rest this week, even though he started better than 30 minutes, or 25 anyway. Tupou, Brandon Smith, end up at 53. I think that might have dropped down a little bit. But, anywho, still a good score for him. Big tackle numbers. He got a line break in there. Did some good things, to be honest. It looked like he played a lot better there, and had 8 seconds rest or something like that. Crazy. Tupanua actually wasn't too bad in the centres. He actually played a good game. So well done to Toops. People don't. You can't really look at Smith, can you? I think when everyone's back, you're gonna see Watson split some time, or they'll have a Sandon Smith or something like that on the bench there. Kiri 45, Caesar 45, Porter 44 and 54 minutes. So good. The cash out from last week ends up going pretty well. You had Galvin, I think he goes up to a 44 from memory there. He's solid overall, a few offloads, forced dropouts. At times, he looked like the only bloke that was really keen to get out there and run around. And the amount of times he went out from dummy half, or he got the ball at first receiver and ran forward into the line and no one was running with him. It's like, well, he's an 18-year-old half. He's little. Like, it's not like he can run the footy decent. He does anyway, just because he has to. But he's not someone you want running the line every single play just for a hit up, right? Needs his big boys for that. So it's just stupid how that works. Sometimes for the Tigers, sometimes they look like they're raring to go, and others they don't. And they looked a bit shell shocked, didn't they, by the Roosters' power? But Galvin really solid 44 as an owner. We'll take that against the Roosters. Bateman 41 for him in 60 minutes. Came on, did his thing. Couple of turnover tackles, nothing special for him. Let him drop in price after that higher break even after his injury game, and we'll go from there. Butcher 39 for owners in 52 minutes, so he's probably closer to a sell. Obviously, in the next few weeks, for sure. Stefano, 39 in 56 minutes. So the minutes were there, the run meters were not. So you hardly saw him running the footy, but when you get trounced like this, it's hard to judge too much. He'll be back. Crichton with 38. Just the negatives. They seem to be there in the last sort of month of him in NRL. In that game one of State of Origin as well, he had a lot of negatives, I think 7 or 8 missed tackles as well. So that's kind of crept into his game at NRL level. And I think it'd be worth just watching him go down a bit in price. And if we can get him closer to 700s by round 20 or 21, it'll be a fun one for sure. But they do have a bye, obviously a little bit later in 23. So yeah, something to note. Samuela Fainu there with 39. I thought he had a really, really good game. He was flying. He was like 30 really early. And just the Roosters dominating in that second half cooked him a little bit and his scoring potential. So yeah, only a 39. Solid enough after his cracking scores in recent history. So I'll take that. Matamua, 36. He had Sam Walker, 34. Just a bit low for him. Obviously, the 1 try assist there. Missed a few goals. Got 4 of them in the end, but 6 missed tackles. Very low run meters and kick meters there for Walker. Manu was absolutely crushing. He had everything going his way, in his favour there, until he decided to palm Dewey's neck. And unfortunately, looks like he's cooked his wrist or hand, but 32 in 30. Thank goodness for owners, he at least got some points. Unfortunate though, because I think it would have been a big, big game for Manu. What's wild is he's been scoring these 30s in full 80s, and he got 32 in the 30 this week. Coruscant, he had a sin bin as well, so that wasn't great with that. They were having a muck around, told them all to stop being idiots, and then he lifted in the next tackle. It was like, yeah, you're gone. But 6 missed tackles for him. No attacking stats, kicked the goal at the end, but a bit of a far cry from his 88 last week, so 30 for a almost 60 average across the 2 weeks. He should be fine, but we know that these games are in him either way, so that's that. Nafahu White, a lovely try assist to Teddy. Thank you, Nafahu, for that. Safer Dewey, obviously Dewey coming back down to earth for him with a sin bin as well, and just against a better team and seeing his squad not playing super well either. And then for those that went on the Buller cash down, he got 12 in 81 minutes, which is pretty gross. So that we're going to have to leave that one there, guys. I'm going to jump off to work. But thank you so much for being here for this one. I wish you all the best of luck with your results and the updates and where your rank sits. And we'll catch you in the results video a little bit later today. See you guys.